Good afternoon. It is Thursday, April the 23rd. It's kind of stormy outside today, and we may have some storms tonight. I'm sitting right now where I have sat probably most of my day. I even ate lunch at my desk today while I was watching one of several presentations. The first presentation this morning came with the Western North Carolina Superintendents, and we were talking about various things that are happening in other school systems like Jackson County and Henderson County and even Cherokee County, and how we're thinking about the end of the year ending and what the beginning of next year might look like. But the truth of the matter is, we don't have any real solid answers to any of that today. Governor Cooper spoke this afternoon about his 3 phases and his expectation for when we can move into phase 1, which is still restrictive, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. My hope was that he would also tell us what we are going to do with the remainder of this school year. I think that every school system in Western North Carolina and probably the state of North Carolina would like to know what's going to happen next. Well, the truth of the matter is we still don't know. We will find out tomorrow, which will be April the 24th, and I would encourage you to tune in at 3 or 4 o'clock. I think it's at 3 o'clock tomorrow on the UNC TV internet site. And that's where he does his emergency broadcasting from. They provide that for all of us, and it's live, it's real time. So 3 o'clock tomorrow if you want to see that, or you can just wait and hear about it later on the news. Now, what he did tell us today is that we still are in the stay home, stay safe restrictions like we've been living in for the past 2 or 3 weeks. We're still going to be there through May the 8th. That means that it's going to take another couple of weeks before we can even move into phase number 1, and then it'll take 2 or 3 more weeks at the minimum to move into phase 2, and then he said it could take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks after that to move into phase number 3. Now, if you want to know more about that, I am sure that if you go on the internet that you can get all of the different parts of that, and they have some statistics and criteria that they're using to move us from phase 1 to 2 to 3. The important part to me is this. All of those phases are going to affect what we can do in our school system. That includes whether we're going to continue remote learning or not, how long we're going to have remote learning, what about graduation? Everyone is wanting to know, what are you going to do about graduation? And I know for the parents and the families of our seniors, you're seeing all kinds of information released about graduation exercises in other states and in other places. I just want to be real honest with you. My goal with graduation this year is to make it as special and as least restrictive as I possibly can. We want this to be an event that is as special as it has always been. And until I know exactly how deep the restrictions are on how many people can be where and who can't be there, we're not going to make a solid decision about that. We have put June 6th on the invitation cards, but that doesn't mean it'll be June 6th. It might be something different. I'm not even going to begin to try to predict what we're going to do with that. What I am going to ask for you to do is just be patient with us. We're going to make this as special as we can, and we want to do that in the best way and the most timely way that we can. To make a decision today might be something that we would have to change later, and I would prefer not to do this. I promise you this, though. We will do something that will be memorable because our seniors and their families are critically important to all of us, and I hope that you understand that we all mean that. What about next year? We don't have a clue about how that's going to start. There's all kinds of talk in Raleigh about changing start dates and having jump start programs and all kinds of things. But again, that all depends on how we move through those phases that the governor laid out today. So for now, I really just want to put all of those pieces aside, and I just want to talk about what we're doing right now. Remote learning. Some of you are experienced in that because your sons or daughters are doing work on computers, or they might be doing work on some paper packets. Some might be working off of a thumb drive that they're putting into a computer. There are all different avenues of instruction that are happening. I want to show you a couple of them. The first one comes from our pre-K. As a matter of fact, I've got a picture of it, of the video and how it would start on the screen behind me. You might be catching a view of that every now and then. But Jennifer Scheid is the lead teacher in one of the pre-K classrooms. She works with Angie Manley, who is her assistant, and she also works with Jennifer Hill as another assistant. And they had one of the most wonderful experiences using digital learning. You wouldn't think that pre-K, pre-kindergarten students can do this, but they absolutely can. So take a minute and just watch this 45-second clip of a pre-K remote learning digital classroom.
Gosh, that is very good, Emerly. Everybody give Emerly 2 big claps. Who else has something with R? Oop, Elijah Peoples, I see your hand up. Okay, Elijah, what did you bring today? That is genius! You used a refrigerator! That is so awesome! Good job, Elijah! Kiss your brain. That was a good one. Everybody give Elijah 2 claps. He found something in the house. Very cool. Okay, Lakey has his hand up. Lakey, what did you bring for Red Robot R?
Hold it up.
A remote.
A remote! That is great. Is it a remote for the TV?
I really hope that you enjoyed that. I tell you, if there's somewhere that I have an opportunity to go to just experience energy and enjoyment in education and instruction, very often I'll go to the pre-K, because those little youngins and those teachers there, they just love what they're doing and they love each other. It's what education is all about in so many different ways. Now, that particular clip had several students in it. The next clip that you're going to see comes from our middle school, and it involves Keith Payne, who is a 7th grade teacher, and he has one student that he is spending time with, and they're kind of doing a chalkboard, digitally, math work. But I want you to understand that what Mr. Payne does is he goes in every single morning and he turns on his computer and goes to a particular place where his students can connect with him. And he sits there on his computer from about 8:30 in the morning until 11:30 in the morning. And his students join him as they are available through that time period. And they know that at 11:30 he has to move on and go to the next part of his day, which is planning their work for tomorrow. So enjoy what Mr. Payne is doing with his student up at the middle school. About 30 seconds of math and angles and calculations. Enjoy.
What other number?
Number 3.
3. All right, if angles are complementary, they add up to give you what?
90.
There you go. Good job. So what are the measure of my 2 angles they're giving me?
4 and 5.
4x and 5x. So what's 4x plus 5x? We got to add our common terms.
9.
9. So we got 9x equals 90. And how do we solve that?
That was totally different than the pre-K, and I know that. That's one of the reasons that I wanted to show you those 2 different ideas of remote learning. I don't know how long we're going to be involved in remote learning. It could be all the way up through June the 4th or whenever the end of the school year may turn out being. I do know this. I want you to see more of this. There are amazing things that are happening through the computer and through the internet and also through other instructional methods that I want you to be part of as long as we're still here at school. So every week we're going to highlight another teacher, another class somehow, and just show you how we're continuing to move along with instruction. Next week, I'll also bring you some information that we have learned today from the State Board of Education about how grading is going to happen and some of those things as well, and maybe help you understand more of how this year is going to close out. So until the next time that we're together, thanks for being part of our school system. Thank you for being patient with us as we transition through this critical time that no one expected. And thank you for being part of our family. I truly value you, and I hope that you're blessed, and I hope that your weekend is wonderful. So until then, God bless you.